As we all know that this series had begun with an idea of spreading knowledge, expertise, valuable life lessons from our alumni of FCTL IIT Kharagpur. But actually the platform has widespread and different disciplines, professors, scientists, academicians and even industry professional has used this platform to spread their knowledge to the needy one. As you know that the majority of presenters in the previous webinars were from academics. And from then we have seen a glimpse of many research going on in academia related to food processing. But this time we have a young and vibrant industry professional with vast experience in the food sector, particularly in the bakery. I would like to welcome Mr. Mainak Chakrabarti, Vice President Factory Operation of SAJ Food Products Private Limited, BISK Farm. A warm good evening, sir, and welcome to the 42nd FCTL webinar. Before going to formally introduce Mr. Mainak Chakrabarti, sir, I would like to invite Professor N Mishra, sir, to say a few words about it. Mr. Sir.
Thank you, Siddharth, and welcome Mainak Chakrabarti. That we are excited to listen, Mainak. I personally, as well as my department at IIT Kharagpur, are having a long association with Mainak as well as his company, BISK Farm, right? Although Mainak did not take any formal degree from IIT Kharagpur, but he attended a few courses, right? I think short-term course you attended. And
short-term course and some research projects, sir, yes.
Some research projects we did, and with that, almost he is like us a very lovely, and he is like our own alumnus. We are in constant touch and interactions, and as I was talking to him, that many times because it is nearer to Kharagpur, Kolkata, and very good facility they are having. So sometimes we take our BTech and MTech student to show that how the bakery products are. We teach them in the class, but laboratory experience, industry experience, they help us in providing. So we are thankful to Mainak that he readily agreed rather to share his knowledge and expertise in the field of baking technology to our business. So let's welcome Mainak. So over to the
Thank you very much for your words.
So before that, yes, this is now Azadi Ka Amrit we started. So I welcome all the participants and we congratulate all the participants and everyone, and our greetings and Shubhkamnaएं for Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Thank you, sir. Same to you.
Sir, thank you. Thank you, sir. Same to you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Same to you.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. We would like to welcome Mr. Mainak Chakrabarti. He is a food technologist by profession and completed his bachelor degree in food technology from West Bengal University of Technology, Kolkata, and postgraduate research in food biotechnology from IIT Kharagpur. He is an advisory board member of Bakery Technology Committee of FCTL and board of studies member of the Chemical Engineering Department of N Mishra. He has been in the food industry since 2009 and is currently working in the capacity of Vice President Factory Operation with SAJ Food Products Private Limited, BISK Farm. He heads the pan-India operations of the company. Today, it is a great opportunity to listen him in the 42nd FCTL webinar. So I would like to invite Mr. Mainak Chakrabarti sir to present his webinar on the topic Right to Food to Eat Right, a Journey, Challenges and Opportunities. I will request the audience to mute their mic and close their video during the presentation. However, they can post their queries in the comment box. Over to you, Mr. Mainak Chakrabarti.
Thank you, Siddharth. First of all, I'd like to convey my sincere regards and pranam to Professor Mishra. He has always been a guiding light. He has always been a loving guide in my career, all through my journey. Sir, I regard sir as a hallmark of knowledge, expertise, and I would say a constant source of inspiration to food technologies down the ages. For the last 15, 20 years, sir has inspired food technologists to be rational, to be practical, and to address problems which would solve the national and the global problems in food science and engineering in the current society. So it is a rare honor for me to address such an august gathering, which has professors, teachers of food technology all over the country, and most importantly, the students of Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur, who are the most brightest minds the country has today. So, another very momentous occasion that I am speaking just 2 days before the 75th day of Indian independence. So I would start my talk with 2 quotes which would crystallize, or I would say summarize, the entire discourse for the day. I would read out an English translation of the Rig Veda, which has been co-opted as the guiding document of the Eat Right mission of the Government of India. The first form of happiness is sound health. One should partake nutritious, balanced food to keep the body healthy. So it is essential to maintain the health of mind and body simultaneously. So this is the importance of food, which Rig Veda has propounded a few centuries back. This is one part, this is one mission which we are aiming at. And on the other side of the coin, we have a harsh reality, which the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, told almost a century back. And the saddest part of the thing, or I would say it is even a reality today, that it exists. I quote, "There are people in the world so hungry that God cannot appear to them except in the form of bread." Mahatma Gandhi told this almost 100 years back, but unfortunately, or as a reality, the situation still persists today. So keeping these 2 guiding quotes in mind, I have formulated the topic of the discussion today as right to food, to eat right. This is a long journey. Before speaking long and tall words on eat right, on this juncture of the 75th year of the independence, we should once again very seriously and very honestly ponder whether till date we have been able to secure the basic right for food. For the last 2 days, I was going through several journal articles where each article is starting with a very lofty claim that right to food is a part of our fundamental right, is a part of our constitutional right. But on the contrary, if we look at the statistics given by the government even in the concept document of the Eat Right India mission, that out of 1.35 billion Indians, 196 million are still chronic hungry, 500 million are still micronutrient deficient, 180 million are overweight or obese, 100 million suffer out of foodborne illnesses. And If we go into the less than 5 years, the child population of the country, 47 million children are still of stunted growth and 25 million children are wasted health-wise. So these basic data, these basic facts and figures sheds light to the fact that though India as a country, India as a nation has done substantially in terms of food security, in terms of alleviating hunger, we still have a lot to do. The technologists, the food scientists and the food engineers alone will not be able to solve the problem, because ensuring food security, ensuring nutritional adequacy is a socio-economically dependent process where all parts of the food ecosystem has to work like a harmonious orchestra so that we can get the desired output, the desired result which we wish to obtain. As far as the broad spectrum of the food security is concerned, if we look back at the agricultural production condition of the country today, we have done immense improvement. But these improvements, due to some, I would not say complete lack, but due to some lacunae in the public distribution system, the benefit has not reached out to the mass, the benefit has not reached out to the common man substantially the way it should have been. Fortunately, the government of India has taken certain very concrete measures in the form of ensuring public distribution systems by several missions, several programs, so that safe food reaches to each and every household of the country. So, Har Ghar Tiranga, along with the Ghar Ghar Tiranga mission, we can hope, as we have done substantially well, in near future we will do still better, so that we can very boastfully and boldly say, Har Ghar Poshan, Har Ghar Khana. And as the Eat Right mission document very correctly documents, this can only happen in the form of a Jan Andolan. It can only happen in the form of a collective participation of all stakeholders of the Am I clearly audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yasoda Devi, please mute yourself. Admin, please, yes. Yasoda Devi, please mute yourself. आप सबको म्यूट करो, लोगों को अगर म्यूट कर सकते हो.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The benefit of processing, the benefit of food security starts from agriculture. And I am very happy to say, if you just see the name of the department, of IIT Kharagpur. It is agricultural and food engineering. So in way back 1951, when Indian Institute of Technology was framed by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and gifted to the country, declaring that it is dedicated to the service of the nation, the very concept of this holistic food ecosystem lied in the name of the department itself. Unless and until agriculture can be structured, agriculture is scientific, agriculture is modernized, intervention of technologists in the form of processing, in the form of preservation, in the form of fortification, in the form of packaging cannot start. So the starting point should be first primarily protected. Fortunately enough, we have done a substantial extent of improvement, a substantial extent of progress in terms of agricultural science and agricultural engineering and agricultural practices. Again, these agricultural practices is very closely interlinked with the climatic conditions and parallel scientific progresses to make alternative arrangements or alternative provisions to combat the natural calamities and secure the quantum of cultivation or the quantum of produce year on year. So these agricultural commodities through the public distribution system should first harmoniously and uniformly reach out to the mass. The government of India, through the agricultural engineers, the agronomists, and the agricultural economics team have done substantial progress and tried to make the Antoday Anya Yojana, their project, a reality. A great extent of work has been done on the minimum support prices, and a lot is yet to be done. Then comes the question, when agricultural security is reached, what is the role of the food engineers or the food technologists to extract the maximum benefit out of it? The answer to this is, if we read textbooks of food technology of around 40-50 years back, we will find a standard line. I think everybody would agree with me. 35 to 40% of India's agricultural produce is wasted and cannot be preserved. And I think that continues to be a reality even today. So therein comes the role of the food scientists, the food technologists, and the food engineers. We should think of practical, cost-effective, and socio-culturally pertinent and relevant methods of food, agricultural storage, food storage and preservation, such that we can get the maximum benefit out of our agricultural produce and make it reach to the common mass. A very natural paradox that lies in this context is, just before joining this meeting, I was having an interdepartmental meeting with my colleagues, and a pack of biscuit from a very recognized brand of the country came in my hand, where they have claimed a biscuit to be protein rich. It has 20% protein. Yes, it does technically have. And soy protein isolate has been added to it with some other sources of dairy protein to make the biscuit protein rich. But as ignited minds of food science, we should question the basic fact. When India has sufficient amount of dals and rajma, do we at all need a protein-rich biscuit to combat the nutritional inadequacy of the country? I think the logical answer to it would be a no. So, on this momentous occasion of the 75th year of Indian independence, food research, food science concepts should come out of the shackles of niche processing, of industrial brandings and industrial gimmicks. I am on the other side. I am on this receiving side. When my competitor makes a biscuit which is rich in protein, I would try to copy it the other day and gain the market share. But somewhere at the bottom, the concepts, the knowledge, the experience that I have gained from professors like Professor Mishra, that haunts me and makes me think India still have sufficient amount of pulses and other very cheap sources of protein. So why do the futile effort of isolating protein from soybean, soy protein isolate, and adding to biscuit and claiming it to be protein rich and charging 50 rupees for a 90-gram pack? Does my country is in a position today to have a biscuit or a cookie which is 500 rupees a kg? Can we afford to do that when we are still struggling for nutritional adequacy in the country, food security in the country, when we are doing substantially better in the global hunger index, but still we have much more to do? So this is the thinking job, the question I would like to float to this august house today, in deciding the vector, in deciding the direction of food science and food technological research, where we need to first think of the objective of Eat Right India. We should decide what is right for India to eat. That is, everybody knows what is right. But how to achieve that right? Are we following the right path to reach our goal? The answer somewhere is we are getting digressed. On one side, food business is taking a higher seat, I would say a more important seat compared to the socio-cultural aspects, the socio-economic aspects of reaching out healthy and safe food to each and every individual of the country. So there we, the stakeholders, as food scientists, food technologists, and even from our side, food professionals, have to play a very significant and important role by giving the country a right way, a right direction to achieve the Eat Right mission. there are three rights. The right to food has to be secured, and then a right track has to be followed. Then only we can reach the Eat Right India mission. If we look into the food diversity of our country, I would say India is in a very fortunate position where we have a variety of agricultural produce, where balanced nutrition is not only a teaching of carbohydrate is to protein is to fat, 4:1:1 that we read in textbooks, where we have khichdi as a very burning and live example of a balanced diet, which is integrated, deep-rooted in our food habit. So we need to think, we need to exploit, and we need to nurture these ingrained cultures of the Indian society and target our roadmap so that we can really make the Eat Right mission successful. I am aware that the department under the guidance of Professor Mishra are continuously working on the direction of low-cost alternatives of food preservation, of food processing, where goodness of nutrition, goodness of micronutrients can be extracted, can be achieved from very common, easily available, abundant and cheap sources, and that can be reached out to the mass. Why not we think adding a dal powder into a biscuit? Why not a rajma powder into a biscuit? And why always a very purified form of some protein isolates? There's no point making something which the common man of my country will not be able to afford. Our scientific ventures, our academic ventures should be directed towards the national goal. And another gap which needs to be bridged, I think sir would completely agree with me, the agricultural scientists, the food scientists, and the nutrition professionals should work hand in hand. If we look at any curriculum of food technology, nutrition is a very digressed offshoot. In our research, in our curriculum, nutrition is not emphasized upon. When I recruit food technologists, and as you know, in any product that you sell industrially, we need to make the nutritional information at the back panel. So unless and until we give them specialized trainings to make that nutritional panel, I have found a very handful of food technologists who are capable enough to do it. So the reference nutritional levels, the recommended dietary intakes, and the nuances of nutritional adequacy in terms of the proximate principles as well as the protective principles, the micronutrients, that should be very deeply ingrained and intertwined while we are learning preservation, while we are designing experiments for food preservation or food processing. Unless and until we do that, because the basic objective of food is first gaining energy, the proximate part of it, And the second is the protective part of it, and the satiation of hunger. So satiation of hunger is not the eat right thing. For the eat right thing, where energy adequacy and nutritional adequacy has to be focused, as food processors or as food preservation technologists or as food engineers, we should have a very clear notion of the nutrition science as well. One very practical example, one very practical scenario which I face in the country today, either be it in dairy processing, be it in bakery processing, whenever you are coming to requirement of machines, we still need to depend either on Europe or on USA, or at best for a low-cost alternative to China. Why? When India has the most ignited minds of the country today, I am very sorry to say that still food machine engineering, food plant design has not advanced the way it should have been in the last 75 years. You design an extruder today, we get it as a replica of the American extrusion design. We design an oven today, we still depend on brands like Laser, Italian brands, where a cyclothermic oven principle is imitated. They are our Indian manufacturers, but those designs are still a very blunt copy of the imported ones. When agricultural wastage, food wastage in a country like India is so high even today, when we are planning to have biodiesels from food waste as a part of the Eat Right India mission, the cooking oils, the frying oils are being tried to be repurposed or reprocessed to get biodiesel. So why can't we think of a biodiesel fryer? Why can't we design a machine where the source of heating would be the flue gas of the food waste? When petrol and diesel prices, even LPG prices are sky high nowadays, we have to come forward as technologists and engineers to think of ways to combat these problems through our very indigenous and native technologies. Even the food habit pattern, food research will be very abstracted from reality. Food research will be very away from the mass if we do not train the common mass in terms of nutrition, in terms of adulteration of food, in terms of their right to choose the correct or right food. So the nutrition experts, the food technologists, the food engineers, the food plant machinery designers, and even the social bodies should work in harmony, should work together in an integrated fashion to make the vision of Eat Right India successful and practically achievable. The societies of technologists have a very significant role in it. AFSTI should work with AOAC. AOAC has to work with IPHA, public health team. Otherwise, if the public health team does not make us aware of the adulteration, however testing kits and testing methods we can devise, we will not be able to reach out the benefit of that to the common man. The technological advancements that AFSTI is doing, that has to be, in terms of fortification, that has to be validated, that has to be supported by the drives of Indian Medical Association. When we talk of fortification today, when still in India 50%, more than 50% of women and 70% of children are anemic, we will keep on having iron pills. Nobody would be that much concerned about fortifying food with the micronutrients. And if at all we aim to do that, the industry houses like us, we would do it in a very classy form, in a very niche product, which a common man again cannot afford to buy. So, food fortification of the staples, food fortification in the products where en masse acceptability is more, where affordability is high, has to be targeted. So, I had these sketchy visions, and now I would like to open the house for certain discussions where we can share our thoughts, share our ideas, and under the guidance of Sir, formulate a pathway, formulate a roadmap such that we can harness the maximum benefit for our country, for our mother India in the 75th year of independence. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an informative webinar. We have actually opened our eyes about our burning topics in India, like improper storage conditions, wrong direction of processing, food to food fortification, and even you have shown that a must change in the curriculum of food technologies, where the nutrition importance will be there. Thank you, sir. So, I would like audience, anyone have any doubt, you can ask.
Not doubts, even suggestions, ideas. I would also love to learn from you all.
Yes. Any audience, anyone can ask their doubts, even they can suggest you.
Good evening, sir.
She wants to say something. In fact, Mainak has raised very, very pertinent questions, and he has done his experience. He has given very thought-provoking. In fact, we all food in India's food technology, those who are involved in the industry, professionals, research, we should seriously look into all these aspects. So let's hear Pragya Arya what she wants to say. Yeah.
Good evening, sir, and good evening, Chakrabarti, sir. Sir, I don't know it's counted as query or suggestion. Is there any platform like any research scholar or student is developing some kind of technology, but that technology is only limited to that institute only? Is there any platform like somebody has developed cold plasma in their own labs? So can we popularize that technique in the moderate prices so that most of the institutes can buy them or develop them, or you can say it could be accessible to all? Is there a platform or media, tie-ups with other companies we can formulate?
I understand your query, Pragya. Primarily, the modus operandi which we follow nowadays for this is, as it has been an invention from a particular institute or for a particular research team, primarily the intellectual property of that needs to be protected first. because if you, without patenting it or without securing the intellectual property of it, if we discuss our technology with anybody and everybody, apart from research publications, there are chances of misuse of that. So primarily the intellectual property right has to be protected. And then this is another important question which we have raised. There has to be a synergy between industry and academia in India. So there should be forums where we can showcase our technologies and relevant industries take over the onus to commercialize it and reach out to the mass. So this interaction, most of the institutes, your department, the Agriculture and Food Department of IIT Kharagpur is the glorious exception, where we have departments like SRIC and all, where continuous technology transformations keep on going with different industries of the world. But the academia has to take a step forward and come out to the mass, and even we, the industry people and the professionals, also have to take a keen interest on the recent developments in research, and that this is the only way where we can act in synergy.
Yes. I think very rightly told Mainak. Pragya, I would like to add one or 2 points here is, yes, that you have to work any institution or any individual who is working. First thing that you need to protect your IP. Okay.
True, sir. But while protecting the IP,
let me complete. Yes, that's what I am coming to your point. Once you are sure that yes, your IP is protected, and also the technology which you have developed, which is workable. Because once IP is protected, obviously they ensure that yes, it is a workable technology. The problem comes sometimes that the many institutions do not have resources for scale up of the technology. In the laboratory, we work on the few gram sample, 10 gram, 20 gram, 30 gram. But the process parameter which you design on this small sample, when you scale it up, it may not work.
Scalability has to be there.
So scalability, and for that there are a few national government institutions also, like Science and Technology Board. And there are nowadays that many startup and then many promoters are there who are willing. If you approach them, they will provide you resources to scale up that technology. And then even NRDC also. NRDC can, if your technology is having potential of application, they provide all the platform. Even they also provide some funding to scale up and see that as workability and technology, and then they will propagate and popularize, and even technology, they also help in technology transfer missions. So there are such institutions in the country, government as well as non-government. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, and I think there are
There are some questions from Meera Sankrakurti.
let her speak.
Okay.
Meera,
Yeah, you can ask. You can unmute yourself and you can
we
ask.
have some interactive session. We are having very good interaction. Meera?
I saw a question here that India is importing pulses. I fully agree with you. That is another dynamics of which crops gets imported and when which crop gets exported. So I will not get into that debate separately. But honestly speaking, India is self-sufficient in terms of pulses production. As far as ICAR data, Indian Council of Agriculture Research data, India is quite self-sufficient in terms of their pulses production. And again, the production of agriculture, one very subtle area, I was reading a literature of the other day, what cultivation a farmer would do is again guided by the demand created by the market. And again, the industry is playing a very crucial role in this segment. If sunflower cultivation sells at a higher price than, say, pulses, so sunflower is cultivated. So again, a money cycle, a financial cycle is coming into play here. So the agricultural policies of the country should also be modulated to an extent. We get cheap sources of nutritional agricultural produce, and agriculture is not guided by the power center of economics. So that is another separate socio-cultural debate rather than technical, so I am not getting into it.
Yeah, sir, my query is this. Since food security and agricultural security and climate change are intimately connected,
Yes.
do you think we can look at each of this in isolation and try to solve? We need to have a combined initiative. And this cannot just be a problem addressed just by food technologists or food scientists.
Yes.
Do you think we need to have such an initiative? And if so, how do we even think about it or go about it? I would like to have suggestions of the House, please.
Very pertinent question. Obviously, these three things cannot be treated in isolation, as I also tried to capture this essence in my talk. So these three forums should work in unison, and to get the Eat Right India mission correct, we should have an interdepartmental or interfunctional forum. IDA, NSI, IMA, AFSTI, IFCA, AOSC and IPHA. I have listed out. All these forums should work in a common platform, maybe as a task force or maybe as a knowledge sharing group, where there should be a harmonious orchestra. They should function like an harmonious orchestra. Otherwise, we will not get the music. We will keep on getting noises.
Sir, do we even envisage such an initiative? Is there any initiative from the government that you are aware of with something that is happening?
Basically, the Eat Right India mission, the very objective of this mission is to bring all stakeholders of the food ecosystem into a common platform. I think sir would be able to enlighten us much more. The government have already started taking initiatives in this line.
Yes. Now, in fact, Mira, your question is very pertinent, and now you see that from farm to fork, there is now earlier, yes, you are very true that food technologist will not talk with the food engineer will not talk with the horticulturist will not talk with the physiologist, but gone are those days. Now everybody has realized everyone's importance, all right, that even pre-harvest, that is the horticulture people, agronomy people, plant feeders, until unless they do their job in good way, until unless you get good quality raw material, at least by processing, you cannot do miracle. So they have to ensure that as good quality raw material is given to the industry, then post-harvest management people, cold chain, etc., and then it reaches into the factory. So everybody has to do that work in tandem and follow a collective approach. And there are now Government of India, certain department, even again, most of the ICR, DST, they are in the process. That is the task forces are there, are mission mode projects. They are now encouraging more and more, where even the people, RPIs, etc., with varied expertise, that is pre-harvest, post-harvest processing, quality and safety management. That's what Mainak told, that nutrition people, etc. After all, what we are processing, there is some question on biofortification and that iron related, that is use of iron equipment in the processing by Dinesh Sharma. So all these things also need to be addressed properly. Okay, so that is now initiatives government is doing. At least researchers are now, they are open and they are working, talking with each other, working with each other, and hopefully things will improve in coming days. I hope it is okay. You got your answer?
Yes, sir. I just wanted to mention, we have been having food technology institutes, food engineering institutes for several years, each one independently doing their work, having their expertise. But I have yet to see somewhere where everything is conglomerating to have one common mission, which would really address this problem and hit the nail on the head. I think that is what is the need of the hour more than expertise. We have expertise, according to me, in each of these areas. But I don't think there's a combined effort that I really see. If we do that, I think...
We are very right, Mira. Now the people have realized this thing. And now people
and
are
certain
coming.
small steps have been taken already.
Yes,
so
yes.
as you see, the FSSAI drafting committee initially was only with academicians. Now with the effort of CII, there is a window where at least industry professionals like us who don't know anything have at least the right to comment. So gradually this integration is being aimed at. Though a lot more is yet to be done, but at least we are taking the baby steps.
Yeah. And even this, you see that what we are doing earlier in our academic fraternity itself.
We never did this discussion even.
Even not having this discussion, and even what my student was doing, I was ensuring that my other professors, students, they do not know. They don't disclose नहीं करो नहीं तो पता चला हम क्या कर रहे हैं उनको पता चल जाएगा और हो जाएगा. But पहले mindset था, but now that has completely changed. Now we have realized that when we are discussing with each other, all right, maybe a better innovation will get, and now people are discussing, students are discussing, we are talking with the industry, they are coming to, so in the days to come, definitely, that has been realized by all, and people have started working on this area, concept, yes.
Thank you for addressing the question, sir.
Yes, that's right. Dhananjay Sharma, there is, I think, your question, Mainak, I can take these two questions,
yes,
if you permit. He has some issue on biofortification, and then the other question is Indian foods were prepared in iron pots. Why FSSAI insisting on banning iron pots? So number one, like biofortification, it is no doubt, undoubtedly, it is a good method to increase the micronutrient content in food and also the bioavailability. It has the biofortified food, there is micronutrients are better available to the body, there is no doubt. But it is a long-term, very long-term problem.
Very long-term.
Yes. So that's why we are not saying as a food technologist, we are not saying that don't go for biofortification. Yes, biofortification should be adopted and it should be, because there are certain, but as a instant mean, that is immediate mean, because we cannot allow the people to wait for 10 years to come a biofortified foods. So that is where the food fortification or supplementation, that is where the industry comes into play. Fortification is done in the industry and supplementation even people are doing at a home level. Even my wife, what she does here, that is, she brings different pulses. Arhar ka dal hai, moong ka dal hai, masoor ka dal hai, and she blends the several pulses and cooks it. Okay, so that is the supplementation we are doing.
Supplementation.
In the way she is balancing the essential amino acid. Okay, so that's what we are doing. The food fortification companies are doing, we are doing. And regarding that, your iron thing, you see, obviously in our home earlier, iron karahi we are using, now also people use. But when you cook in the iron karahi, that iron, the chemical form of iron which is coming, okay, that is number one, its bioavailability again is a question. And then this iron has certain reactions. It is in what form we are giving to the iron to the people, that is important thing. So you see that when the vegetables are cooked in the iron containers, iron pots, its color used to be darkened and oxidation problem, other problems. So iron will go, but the iron bioavailability is issue, and at the time effect of iron on the other constituent of the food is there. So that's why it is now from those point of view, effect on the process, effect of iron on the characteristics of the food has been just by using that.
Even the form of iron, the ferrous form or the ferric form,
yes.
And the way with which it is chelated.
Yes.
Fumaric acid chelation. So the chelation condition of the iron is also very important in terms of its bioavailability.
We cannot use iron filings or iron powder, metallic
iron particles will not be bioavailable. So there are certain technical aspects to it.
Yeah. So that's why
I've seen the atomic absorption spectroscopy data, the AS data that you get for iron and the extent of bioavailable iron, there's a huge difference in it.
And its effect on color and all those things, so that is all seen. So that's why stainless steel has been found that it has to be neutral thing, it doesn't react with the food. So I think that is the, yes. Dhananjay Sharma, is it okay? I think. Other questions, yes, Siddharth?
Any other questions from the audience?
There is, I think, our old friend Vasudeva Rao, A.B. Rao, is our Patnagar. क्या लिखा है भाई राव साहब? आजादी का ओके अच्छे. आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव greeting to all. Okay, thank you. Is not a question. Greeting. Thank you. Thank you, and same to you, Rao sahab.
Okay, no, sir, I have one small query. Like, don't you think, sir, that India has diverse way of food eating habits, but still when we go to taste, then like multiple pulse-based dal, as sir has told, brown rice and millet-based roti, these are nowadays absent from our diet. You can see from our mess also, from IIT Kharagpur even, and many messes from our colleges. We generally get simple roti. We generally get simple dal. We generally get simple vegetable, no mixed vegetable. So from where we can get those important micronutrients? How a food technologist, a food processor will formulate the food in such a way so that we can get these important...
You raised a very pertinent question. In this Eat Right mission, there is a segment called Eat Right Campus. So I would request IIT Kharagpur to take part in this Eat Right Campus mission. And obviously, why only normal roti? Because that is available in the market. Your canteen, your mess will get what they get from Ashirwad, what they get from Ganesh. But if we can make jawar flour, ragi flour for them and give them a blend, they will make it. Basically, today in India, the availability, industrial availability dictates the food habit. So first we need to bring the change in the industrial availability. Then only we can expect a change in the food habit.
Yes, sir. Even in the industry, if we go to the market, then we
don't get it.
Yes, sir. It is only 15%.
And even if we get it, it is 4 times the cost, which is not affordable.
Yes, right.
Which I pointed out. So availability with affordability is very important.
That is important. Yes,
that is important, and that is our objective, Siddharth. That's why I selected this topic to discuss. So we need to start thinking in this direction.
You see, the millets. I am from a village background, and I remember that is the kodu, sawa, kutki, all these minor millets. They were grown in our villages, in our childhood time.
Yes, sir. You told this in class one day. I still remember.
We used to eat that also. But due to one or other reason, maybe the productivity was issue or something was issue. So it was
no more cultivated today.
But now it has been realized that earlier it was a poor man's diet.
Poor man's food.
गाँव में कहते थे कोदो खा रहा, कोदो का चावल खा रहा, सावा कुटकी का रोटी खा रहा, जिसके यहाँ रोज भी होता था. They used to give to as a wages to laborers, etc. But now it has become a rich man diet. You find a millet chapati or something, a millet flour and all those things, cost will increase proportionately, not proportionately, rather exorbitantly. बहुत ज़्यादा price हो जाएगा, but it is being sold now. People are coming. So I think that here again, what Mira was telling, that agricultural scientists, although international year of millet has come, so now agricultural scientists need to ensure that as millet cultivation, of course, now the situation has improved and even it is getting further improved, that it should be easily available. That these millets are good, so their quantity, it should be produced, and after it is produced, then processing, etc. There are still many challenges, like in the milling of the millets, storage of the millets, etc. There are certain issues. Then these issues should be resolved and it should be made to the public. Yes, I think Mira, you are trying to tell something.
Yeah, sir. I just wanted to add. Very often, in blindly aping some other kind of cuisine or cultures, we often tend to forget that we have some very nice native cuisine, which will provide all the nutrition and what is required. For example, jackfruit is a case in point, where I have seen most of the South Indian states have an abundance of jackfruit, which was once upon a time, just wasted. Now that there is a certain amount of fancy attached to it, so much of new processing has started, and I fear that soon it will become a non-available resource because the cost attached to it and a fancy label attached to it will actually make it non-available, which is what sometimes I fear. That the moment you start making it a commercial item, people will, try to cash on it, which is also not a good move according to me. I don't know whether I'm right. It may be a wrong.
No, you are very right. In fact, that's what Mainak also tried to emphasize, that in industry also should behave responsibly. That is, yes, when they find that this is now millet, so they will grab everything and they will do whatever like and try to make cash out of it for their own. So that's okay. They should make cash, but not at the cost of the public. They should ensure
it should be a decent business and not exploitation.
Yes, not exploitation. That's what. So here, even industry, the government, and even public
policymakers,
they should all work together and they should come up with some certain guidelines so that at least the common man's interest is not jeopardized. That is protected.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir.
Anyone else?
If there is no doubt, so we can go to
some question more. Very lively interaction.
Holistic approach of foods. Vasudeva.
Yes, it's a holistic approach. Yes. Aware of Srinivas?
Yeah. How are you, sir?
Oh,
fine.
Yes, I am fine.
So it's a very good, interesting discussion.
Good.
Thank
so
you.
you should also throw your light. Also, you have a vast experience.
It's a proactive discussion.
Good.
And there is a lot to do done by the several branches of the science and technology.
Yes.
And it is not a simple solution by the only food technologists.
It has to be a coordinated effort.
It's not only coordinated, it's the gamut of all the players.
Exactly.
It's a gamut of all the players who has to do a lot to the nation, contribute to the nation on the Amrit Mahotsav.
Yes, right. Very right.
And,
Mainak, one thing I just wanted that the biscuit which you were talking about, that let's not name the company, but 20% protein, how is its texture, sensory characteristic of the biscuit?
Texture, it's more or less fine, but ultimately, sir, I'll send the product to you. Commercially, I have also, initially, my question was on the texture only.
It is fine.
Hardness was more or less okay because they have made the product thick. So that's why they have retained the bite.
Okay.
They have played on the structure of the biscuit, basically.
Okay.
Dr. Mishra, I would like to supplement one thing here.
Yes, please.
As it was pointed out, cooking in iron pots.
Right.
And eating in banana leaf is also very important.
Yes.
Yeah, because of the antioxidants which are coming along with the food which has been served on the banana leaf is more useful to the health of the person who is eating. So in South India, if you go a number of hotels, everywhere there will be banana leaf, they will be spreading and they will serve the food. So this is also gaining a lot of momentum in most of the hotels which were not practiced previously. And it has been observed by several people, several scientists, that eating on banana leaf is very healthy and more useful to the person who is eating the food. Thank you very much.
You are very right. In fact, you see all these practices which were followed by our ancestors.
Yes.
All right. In the name of development, somehow we abolished them. But now it is being proved scientifically that what they were doing, maybe they were not knowing the science, but that was much healthier, and all these actions were supported or that is supplemented by science and scientific things were there. So now people are coming back again. Organic farming. You see, that now it is being in the market. If there is a vegetable or anything, organic का stamp होगा, then
प्राइस डबल हो जाएगा,
50 रुपए में बेचेंगे,
प्राइस डबल हो जाएगा.
So आप you see in our again,
basically we should follow our traditions. The simple example is fasting once a week, and then in 2016 you got the Nobel Prize for autophagy.
Yes.
So all our traditional Indian practices have one scientific attribute attached to it.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. All these things are laid in our Vedas,
Right.
and encrypted by our Maharishis.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely, that we have forgotten, and all the Germans and Europeans have been taken away all these things, and they are preaching to us.
Sir, the basic problem with our curriculum is we read foreign books for preservation. After Mrigaya, the deer was kept under the soil for one day. That is nothing but curing of meat.
Yes.
We tend to forget that. We read Desrocher and learn preservation.
Anyhow, thank you for the traditional knowledge which has been given by the ancestors and is coming back again.
Right.
Yeah, that we should
That is our responsibility. We need to find scientific evidence in our age-old practice and then propagate it.
Yes. Thank you very much.
I think Dhananjay Sharma has again asked some question. Is FSSAI allowing eating on banana leaves? Now I think at present it is not allowing, but definitely if some company comes and they...
So it is not allowing because it is in an unorganized sector.
Unorganized way.
Hygiene and upkeep of that is secured. FSSAI will allow.
Definitely they will allow it.
It is in an unorganized fashion. That's why they are not allowed.
If someone goes, approaches with the scientific data, with all those things, someone has definitely. And how about adding? It is question to you, Mainak.
Yes, mushroom powder. There's no problem in adding. The only thing that we need to take care is the anti-nutritionals that would come in from mushroom powder. So that purification or that aspect has to be taken care of. And honestly, I don't know as far as pointed out, the textural properties of the biscuit with the dough, how will it behave? So that needs to be checked.
And again,
it's a good suggestion we would keep in mind.
And again, the cost.
And the cost, yes. Thank you, sir. Can we close?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, one and all. Happy Independence Day.
If there is no question, definitely we will like to close.
Yes,
again, thank you everybody for the nice interaction. I gained a lot from this interaction, basically. Thank you all.
Sir, there is a thank you ceremony which we used to perform after the end of the webinar. It will take few minutes. Okay, I would like to invite Ms. Mahima Bora to provide vote of thanks to Manik sir. Mahima?
Yes, sir. Good evening to Mr. Mainak Chakrabarti, Mishra sir, and my dear seniors. It is my great pleasure to put forward a vote of thanks for this 42 lecture of FCTL webinar series. And I warmly thank our speaker, Mr. Mainak Chakrabarti, for sharing extensive knowledge on right to food to eat right. Thank you, sir, for making us aware that though India has done a lot in food security, eradicating hunger, still there is a lot to do and improve more. Like the benefits of PDS system, they has not reached to the common man substantially. That how the government has taken several measures that safe food reach to the people, aiming at Har Ghar Poshan and Har Ghar Khana. Then sir, later you told about like even India being one of the largest food producers, we are still struggling for nutritional adequacy, food security in our country, and that we should decide the right direction of our food science and technological research. Then sir, also you told about that we should think of ways to combat the problems in an indigenous and native manner, such that the mission of Eat Right India as well and practically achievable as well. So thank you so much, sir, for enlightening us. And lastly, I would like to thank the audience and to all the seniors who took the time to impatiently participate in this webinar series. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all. Shubhkamnaएं 75वें.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Good night. Bye bye. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Enjoy.